I love you. So following the introduction to the world of Le Mans esports and my walk down the paddock and the pit lane tour, it was time for my grid walk. Let's see how I got on. Okay viewers, so now I'm starting my grid walk here before the race. Always great to get up close personal with the cars and the drivers. And I've bumped into Ben Green. Hello Ben. So basically tell me what brings you to the grid today and your thoughts about this experience being on the grid.
Well, first of all, we're here today at World Endurance, Silverstone. Fantastic race, something I really aspire to do. You can see all these awesome cars behind us. I'm here today with Andy Prio, who manages me, and that's his car behind us there, number 67, starting 4th today. And Andy's starting the car, so I'm sure it's going to be a good start. But yeah, it's going to be a fantastic race, and I can't wait to watch. Absolutely. Well, and we hope Andy does well as well. I was talking about the Ford earlier. You know, we're here for the Le Mans esports this week, which is a big announcement. And of course, I was mentioning as well that a few years ago, the Ford was actually launched by Forza Motorsport at the E3 show, and it just shows how close the sort of the racing industry and the games industry are coming together. It's very loud here with the tannoy, but there's always a nice hive of activity. Well, what kind of race do you think we're going to be expecting here today at Silverstone? Do you have any thoughts on the race, how these guys are going to get on? I've not a clue what their strategy is, I've no idea, but very aggressive I can imagine. They've got the sister car on pole, so they'll be wanting to get up there straight away, I imagine. They know the car's got the pace, so I don't see why they shouldn't be up there on the podium today.
Well, brilliant. Well, Ben, thanks for your time today, and we'll have a wander down the grid, see what else we can find. Cheers.
Catch you later, mate. Thank you.
Great. You know, like you say, this is one of those sort of really special moments. It's a great privilege to be on the grid. You know, on the grid you see all the sponsors, the hospitality, the racing drivers, the engineers, last-minute preparation. But it's always nice to get up close to the cars as well. I think what amazes me, again, with the WEC compared to, say, Formula One is the amount of people on the grid. There is a huge amount of people. And the obvious access that they have to the drivers and the cars right up close to the race. It's great to see today, you know, just like you say, that sort of atmosphere. Let's go in and take a closer look at some of the cars. Okay viewers, now I'm joined by Anthony Davidson. Anthony, I was just saying earlier, I tower over you. I was always saying, I was saying earlier to the viewers, you've had barely 20 laps in this car, not long to get used to it. You had to hammer it around and use your experience. What are your thoughts for the race today? How do you think you're going to get on?
I think the thoughts of the race today is just basically aiming for a podium. I'll be happy with that. Any more would be a bonus. We've had a difficult time with the car setup, but I think hopefully today, after the success of the other car in the ELMS, hopefully we can sort of take their setup lead a bit and have a nicer car to drive today. But you know, they're long races. You have to keep your nose clean, be there at the end with the car unscathed. That's the mission today. And then you see where you are at the end.
You've had limited seat time so far. What about your consistency with the other drivers? Has it been difficult finding a balance, changing from driver to driver? Have you needed to adapt your style?
Constantly tweaking the style after driving the Toyota. It has been difficult to forget all of the old little habits that you pick up from driving such a car. Every car is unique up and down the grid. So yeah, that takes time. You don't get it in 20 laps, that's for sure. So. But I'm there on pace. It's just ironing out the little mistakes here and there that you know, you're always striving for perfection. And you know, hopefully as the race goes on, I'll be getting more and more into a groove. But no, I mean, I'm experienced enough in this game to take everything else in my stride at least. All the full course yellow procedures, getting lapped, overtaking slower cars, all that kind of stuff I've got the capacity to do it. So it's literally just getting to grips with the car. That's the mission. So I'm sure it'll be fine. And like I say, the pace has been there. So that's the main thing.
Well, brilliant. I know this will call upon all of your experience today. I wish you all the best and I hope you have a great race.
Yeah, thanks very much. I mean, the main thing is I'm here to just enjoy it, and yeah, great crowd here at Silverstone. Good to see, so we'll try and put on a good show.
Brilliant. Thanks for your time, Anthony. Okay, viewers, so now we're at the front of the grid. We've got Jenson Button behind me there. He's absolutely mobbed by people in a crowd, turning the engines on, and they are quite loud. And you can see there's absolutely no chance of getting near Jenson today. This end of the grid is always so crowded. Literally they're moving people off shortly. Let's have a walk up. And we'll see if we can just get near the Toyotas before they clear everyone off the grid. And you can see now the crowds are clearing. And you can see the Toyotas there, the drivers getting ready to get into the cars. it's all going to kick off in a moment. The hive of activity, of course, with the media preparing as they start to warm up the engines. And we have Fernando Alonso somewhere. There he is against the pit wall, spotted. Fernando preparing for the race. And of course, Fernando this weekend showing off the Le Mans Esport yesterday, and now for the main event today, the racing, which he's always enjoying. And of course, he is the man of the moment. It's always good. Like I say, every time I say it, getting up close to the drivers, getting up close to the cars, and just having this few minutes before they clear us off the grid. Really, really great opportunity. Now today we are expecting, obviously the Toyota have got the advantage, and so we're going to make our way off the grid now, and of course let the cars get out onto the track. But that's it from me. We'll go up now to the VIP area, and we'll go from there. So, you know, we abruptly moved off the grid there. They quickly usher you off there, and then of course we were up in the wing. Nice VIP view of the proceedings, and then during the race we were offered the chance to drive around the track in a van and see it from all corners, which was great to see as well, you know, especially the incredible closing speeds of the different types of cars that were on display, cornering speeds. It was fantastic to see, really, really nice view. And then back to the wing there where you have your main straight. And obviously the turn one was always great for the start. The acceleration of these cars as well is absolutely mind-blowing. And there was a big screen inside, and you had the cars going by you as you watch them on TV. Always adds to the experience, which was wonderful to see. Wonderful to see. Really enjoyed this, and standing over the pit lane and seeing all the action there as well, as we see everybody running up to the finish line to congratulate the winner. We were expecting to see a checkered flag actually on the top step there. It didn't happen, so whether it was hidden behind there, but there was lots of smoke. Then there was lots of smoke, and you see that billowing everywhere. That actually ended up covering the whole area, and it was just the auspicious end to the race. And then of course all the cars park up on the main straight, which is a bit unusual. We're zooming in quite a long way here, but you can see all the different cars there. Wonderful, wonderful atmosphere. You know, just brilliant to see. You know, Le Mans is different in terms of its feeling. You're so close to the action, as we pointed out, in the pit lane and the paddock compared to, say, Formula One. After this, I had a little walk down the back to see if we could get to the podium, because the Silverstone podium is quite awkward. It's sort of on the end of the building. Unless you're in that area, you can't get to it. So I whizzed around here past the garages to see if I could. But unfortunately, no, the security were not letting us through to film the podium. Like, come on, let's do this. Walk as if we belong. And it didn't happen, unfortunately. They wouldn't have it. So, no, I just finished my bit now, talking to camera and with my final thoughts. So, viewers, that's the end of the race. The WEC at Silverstone today. It's been a great race. Incredible sound of the cars. Great to see all the different cars competing. Highlight of the day has to be Fernando Alonso's crazy overtake down at Stowe around 3 cars. It really was miracle driver stuff. It was just great to see it all, really. It was great to be a part of it and be on the grid. I suppose when you're looking at it now, you know, we're here because of the Le Mans Esport, because of the Le Mans has grown to encompass racing games and racing gamers, and try and build that transition between video games and real life motorsport. And in this sense, we're going to learn more about that in the next few months. We're going to look more into what it's all about. We're going to cover that on the website, and you can see here just behind me all the cars are lining up. As you can't see, unfortunately, that side of the building, but the drivers are currently now on the podium after an epic 6 hours of racing. It was good to catch up with Stephen Hood and James Allen in terms of the support for the Motorsport Network, the support of Le Mans, and also for Anthony Davidson to give us some time on the grid before the race as well. It's a really great opportunity to be there and a wonderful privilege. But I hope you've enjoyed this coverage. It's a little sort of personal look at Le Mans as well as the launch of the Le Mans Esport, and there'll be more from me very soon.